everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, Girl. Right? Just found it on DirecTV. I had no idea anything about it. Bella Thorne, Mickey Rourke is in it, and I think that's all I recognize. But she, I believe it's Bella Thorne, is a woman who returns home to her hometown to seek revenge on an abusive father. She looks like she wants to kill him, and that by the time she gets there, he's already been murdered. That causes some complications, and there's some secrecy behind all of that stuff. So that's what it's about. It's an hour and 29 minutes long, so maybe an hour and 30 minutes long, whatever. And it's only a 4.7 on IMDb, but only 386 people have viewed it, rated it so far. So I'll get into it, see what it's about, see if it's any different than what they told us, and then ultimately let you know if it's worth renting on DirecTV. So stick around, I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of Girl. Sorry, no check-ins. When I was about to check in, we were a little bit farther along than I thought. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out where this movie took place. But the reason I didn't check in, it was only an hour and 29 minutes long, and we were like at 59 minutes. I was like, no sense in doing it now. So let's just talk about it, right? So what the synopsis says is pretty much right. And without giving too much away, Bella Thorne is the girl coming back to her hometown and coming after her dad because of what she felt he did something wrong. We don't know too much in the beginning, and you figure it all out, and I'll explain not explain what happens, but anyway. So, and she arrives there and finds him dead. That was all in the synopsis. But, you know, so now she's there trying to figure it out, what's going on, and, you know, she's upset because she didn't get to kill him. And part of it is, I'll just throw this out there because you don't need to know all the details, but there's money. The guy came into some money somehow, some way, and some people wanted that money. And so now, not only is she there trying to figure it out, but people think maybe she might know where the money is. There's your plot. She has a mom back home, wherever they are. I don't know. You know what I mean? They don't really define that. So that's probably the biggest problem with this whole movie. It was filmed in Canada. So I was just trying to see if I could figure out where it took place. But anyway, maybe that's where it took place. But, you know, that's my biggest issue. One of the biggest issues is the lack of development there. They had a good plot, and I don't know if it would have been any better if it would have been developed. Because, you know, I mean, you have Bella Thorne. In some spots, she's strong, she's good. Some spots, she's not. Like right as they're going through the dramatic climax of the movie, and she's yelling at somebody. It's just like Keanu Reeves in Point Break, when, I know I might be dating myself there, you know, and what was it? And he's yelling at, whatever his name is, I forget his name. Let's go and get these guys. It's like one of those scenes where it's like, oh, Keanu, you're so good. But that scene, same kind of thing here. You know, so there's spots where she's good and she plays the rugged, you know, not beat up, but, you know, beat down kind of girl pretty well. That was the one thing, and so I don't know if the development of the characters would have made this film any better, because of, you know, who was in it and how strong they are. Now, Mickey Rourke was in it. Looked a little odd to me, so I don't know if he had some work done before this or if they were doing something, but he was the sheriff in the town. And there was only a couple of other handful of actors in this movie. He didn't have that many speaking parts, but he plays a major role in the movie. So, but again, he wasn't in it as much as, or he wasn't developed at all. But anyway, I keep saying that, and I hate to do that. So you can understand, even if maybe there was more behind it, it might not have been good the way it was done. Now the plot and everything, I found interesting. You know, we know what the main story of the plot is. What happens is it all unfolds in the last 10 minutes. And it's not in a way that would make you go, oh, you know, a lot of movies, they keep you going until it's almost over. But they hit you like boom, 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 here's the story we want to tell. And, you know, somebody wrote it up, somebody had a great idea here, and maybe even the original script was good. But when it gets to coming out on film, it seems to me like, okay, here's everything, and we're gonna spend all this time, you know, horsing around, and then we're gonna hit them all at the end with everything, and it all ties well. I think, you know, it's like okay, but I just didn't feel fully, I don't know, fully immersed in the move and the plot and everything like that, to be like, you know, care, I guess. So I don't know how better to describe it. It just felt like, you know, they had, you got to get this film done in under an hour and 30 minutes, and you just got to get this story told. And somebody went and did that. But they, you know, I don't know if an hour and 30 minutes was enough. I think they probably could have, you know, done a little bit better on building that all up. So, again, I liked it. When you think about it, I'm like, okay, I like what they kind of did there. And, you know, the rest of it, like the way it ended, whatever, so on and so forth, I'm okay with. But, you know, like I said, the way it was filmed, I don't know. It just didn't work for me. There's one other thing that just came to me. There's a guy in a bar, and he comes up and talks to her. And this is how, it's another example of the lack of development. They have a brief conversation that you're half listening to. You know, she just walks into this town. She goes into the bar, and this guy, she's like, "Why are you staring at me?" And they start a conversation. And at the time, when you're listening to the conversation, it's, you know, them ripping on each other about stuff, you know. And he gets up and leaves. And there might be another scene with him in it again, but then he comes around again at the end and makes it more meaningful, which is, like, I missed the part that, like, because I didn't listen enough to what he was saying specifically at that moment to go, oh, okay. For example, I knew he had a daughter, but I didn't know anything else, you know, and that he was at a bar when he could have been home with his daughter. Okay, that's all I took from that conversation, but when you see the ending, you can see there's more to that story that I didn't get. And I watched the whole movie and I was paying attention and wasn't even on my phone. So that's what I mean. There's things like that they, you know, they're either on the cutting room floor or whatever. I don't know. Alright, I'm rambling on, but still not terrible. Probably not worth paying for. And Redbox, I always say Redbox, because Redbox is like $1.99, $2.99, so wait for Redbox. Don't pay for it on DirecTV or anything like that, would be my suggestion. So something there, they had something, but it didn't hit the high notes for me. So I'm like in a 5 range. It's hard because I like what they said, and they're like, you know, anyway, you get it. Check it out. Drop me some comments. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Whatever. If you haven't already, of course, please subscribe to my channel for these wonderful reviews that I spent all this time doing for you. Anyway, if you want it, you can hit the like button. More importantly, continue to tune in to Kimmel's Irish Pub.